Welcome to solving two-step equations and inequalities. We're going to learn how to do that. You already know, it's just a review. So these are the steps. These are written down in your notes, so you've got these to always refer to. You're going to add or subtract to move the number without the variable. It isolates the variable, gets it to one side of the equal sign. Then you follow the rules to solve a one-step equation, which you already know because you are machines. Okay, so here's our first example. If I am looking at this, one of the little tricks that's going to help you in the future, if I put a box around the side that has the variable, or the left side and the right side, just put a box around each side. Is there anything to clean up on the left side? Well, I've got that plus 4. I need to get rid of it. So I'm going to subtract 4. And I do that from both sides to keep the equation equal. That's what the equal sign means. Positive 4 and negative 4 cancel. So what do I have left over there? Just 5x. I bring down the equal sign. 49 minus 4 is 45. This is multiplication. Opposite of multiplication is division. So I divide both sides by 5. I get x equals 9. Remember, to check it, I can do 5 times 9 plus 4, and I want to see if that equals 49. So is 45 plus 4, does that equal 49? It does. We have a happy check. We can move on to the next problem. So here's the left side, here's the right side. This time the right side's the one that's got the minus sign. So I'm going to move that negative 12 by adding a positive 12. Now, what do I have on the left side? Or the right? Yeah, it's the left side. This side. 37 plus 12, which is 49. And over here, the negative 12 and the positive 12 cancel, and I get 5p. I'm looking at the side that has the variable. It's multiplication, so I'm going to divide by 5. I get 49 over 5, and I'm going to leave it that way. We want to leave it as an improper fraction. Now, 49 over 5 means 49, whoops, that's 4. That's still a 1. I'm really not doing very well here, am I, guys? Divided by 5, which is 9, with 4 left over. So it's really 9 and 4/5, okay? That's called a mixed number. And unfortunately, since you live in an age of technology, most computer programs will not take that, so we don't leave it that way. We leave it as an improper fraction, 49 over 5. Okay, so over here, here's my left side. It's the side with the plus sign. The right side is kind of boring. So to get rid of the plus 2, I'm going to subtract 2. The 2 and negative 2 cancel. I have n over 3 equals 5 minus 2 is 3. I wish I could highlight on this program, but I can't. This is the side that has the variable. It is divided by 3. The opposite of divided by is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. The 3 and the 3, one's on top, one's on the bottom, they cancel, and I get n equals 9. If I wanted to check that, remember, I go right back to the original, but instead of n, I put 9 divided by 3 plus 2, and I want to see if that equals 5. Does 3 plus 2 equal 5? It does. Okay, now this one's kind of confusing because it looks like 4 minus 20. That's actually negative 20 on the left and 11 plus x over 4 on the right. That's why we should use parentheses. Goofy us. We figured it out though. Wait till you see number 5. It's got a parenthesis. So this is the side over here that has the plus sign. This part is the part with the variable. So I need to move this 11. It is a positive 11. So I'm going to move it by subtracting 11. Negative 20 minus 11 is negative 31. Over here, the 11s cancel. I have x over 4. X over 4 is division. Opposite of division is multiplication. And I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. I like parentheses, honestly, for multiplication better. And 4 times negative 31 is negative 124. And these 4's cancel. So negative 124 equals x. All right, look at, see, we got smarter. There's a parenthesis, so you know this is the left side, this is the right side, this is the side with the plus or minus. I'm going to start by moving the 4, so I'm going to subtract 4. That leaves me with 3/7 x, and negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. Now, 3/7 is a fraction, so when I have a fraction, remember, I'm going to multiply because this is a division bar that tells me I got to multiply, and I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. 7 over 3. I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay, 7 on top and 7 on the bottom cancel. 3 on top, 3 on the bottom cancel. Leaves me with x. Over here, This negative 9 is really negative 9 over 1. So I can multiply straight across and get negative 63 over 3, which when I divide that out, I get negative 21. Or negative 9 times 7 over 3. Remember canceling from 4th grade, 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times, so negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. All right, number 6, left side, right side. This is the side with the plus sign. So we are going to move the 7 by subtracting 7. 12 minus 7 is 5. The 7's cancel. I have 5 over 6x. Again, this is a division bar, so that tells you you're going to use multiplication. You're going to multiply by the reciprocal, 6 over 5. 5 on top, 5 on the bottom cancel. 6 on top, 6 on the bottom cancel, leaves you with x. This 5, remember, is 5 over 1. Got a 5 on top, 5 on the bottom, and you get just 6. If you were checking this, you would have 12 equals 7 plus 5 over 6 times 6. So this is 6 over 1. They cancel. You get 7 plus 5, and you do get 12. All right, now we're going to solve inequalities. These are done the exact same way, except you have to flip the sign if you multiply or divide by a negative number. Okay, and you have to graph the solution set because there is no one certain answer. So this is the same rules. Open circle if it's less than or greater than, closed circle if it's less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and you always graph from the variable. So my left side over here has the minus, so I'm going to add 6 to both sides. Wow, this is really little font. So I have P, bring down the greater than or equal to, is greater than or equal to 9. So here's my 9. Remember, some teachers might want you to put the 0 on there. Greater than or equal to is a closed circle. That means 9 is included, and P is anything bigger than 9. So the bigger numbers are over this way. So my solution set is 9 or bigger. On this one, the minus sign is on the right, so I'm going to add 24. That's a horrible looking 24. Okay, 12 plus 24 is 36. Bring down the less than sign, and I have 6x. This is multiplication. Opposite of multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide by 6. This is the moment when you divide. When you divide, you decide if you flip. If this number is negative, you do some flipping. It is not negative, so we just leave the sign the same. Now this is the problem. There's 0, 0, there's 6. It's an open circle. I want the x's bigger than 6. So it looks like the arrow's going this way, so I should count this way. Don't do that. Hope you didn't do that. And if you did, hope you have an eraser. I want the x's that are bigger than 6, so I'm going to go to the right. The reason it's read less than. 6 is less than x. So 6 is smaller than our answer. So our answer has to be bigger than 6. Okay, on number 9, on the left-hand side over here, we've got 8p plus 15. We're going to subtract 15 to get started. So we have 8p is less than or equal to negative 16. At this point, we're going to divide by 8. When you divide, you decide. Am I going to do any flipping? No. Leave the less than or equal to, and negative 16 divided by 8 is negative 2. So there's your 0, there's your negative 2. Less than or equal to is a closed circle. We want the p's less than, so we want the smaller numbers that are smaller than negative 2. What that means, p is your answer. Your answer has to be negative 2 or smaller. Over here on number 10, we got a minus 3. We're going to start by adding 3. So those cancel. We have x divided by 7 is greater than 1. Remember, division sign right there tells you got to multiply by the reciprocal, which in this case is 7, or 7 over 1. And we're going to cancel the 7's, so we just have x. Now, did you multiply by a negative? The question is that negative? The answer is no, so you do not switch the sign. You keep the sign the same. So I want my x's to be bigger than 7. Here's 7. Bigger than means 7's not included, but 7.00000000000000001 is included, and that's doggone close to 7. I want the x's to be bigger than that, so that means I want 8, 9, 10. I want the numbers to the right, the bigger numbers. All right, last slide here, folks. This one, if you look over here, this one has the variable, but there is no plus or minus. That's a negative. So I'm going to rewrite it. Negative 3/4 x is less than or equal to 9. I have a division bar, so I'm going to use multiplication. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is negative 4/3. Now, technically, it should be 4/3, but it's either a negative fraction or it's a positive fraction. So the negative just gets put on the top instead of put on the bottom just because it looks better. That's totally why, guys. It looks better. And computer can't handle a negative in the bottom. When you do yours, cancel. The 3's cancel, the 4's cancel, the negatives also cancel. Now look. You multiplied by a negative number. And if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you flip the sign. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times, so x is greater than or equal to negative 12. So negative 12 is over here, greater than or equal to is closed. I want the x is bigger. Bigger goes to the right. Okay, when you multiply by a negative, you flip the sign. Let's write that down. Multiply by a negative. Flip the sign, okay? It's a remembery thing. All right, over here I got a plus 6 added on, so I'm going to subtract 6. 12 minus 6 is 6. Bring down the greater than. I have 5/4x because the 6's cancel. This is a division, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 4/5. Over here, the 6 is over 1, nothing cancels, so I just have 24/5. I do not flip because that's positive. The 4's cancel, the 5's cancel, and I just have x. Now this one, 24/5 is positive, so I know it's over here somewhere. And I want it to be greater than, oops, but 24/5 is bigger than my answer, which means my answer is smaller than 24/5. Okay, now if this bothers you, you can take 24 divided by 5. You get 4 4/5. If you're graphing that on like something, a number line that has already given numbers, like if you had 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'd have to know where that goes. So that's the only time you have to actually change it into a mixed number. That is the end. What's the big takeaway? When you multiply or divide by a negative number, what do? Let's say it all together. You flip the sign. Did you say it? Oh gosh, I hope so. All right, 13 minutes, 18 seconds. Booyah! See you later.